Well, early Happy New Year to you, and I wanted to put out this quick update video as we're about to close out the year because, as you know, starting with Election Day on November 5th, we saw a massive $40,000 or 60% spike in the price of Bitcoin that culminated in a new all-time high of $108,000 on December 17th. But since then, we've seen a bit of a pullback, as much as 15% down to $92,000, and for the past 11 days, we've seen boring sideways price action. So many of you are getting impatient and you're starting to ask questions like, is the Bitcoin bull run over? Are we crashing down to zero? Are we ever going to recover back to new all-time highs? And so I have some good news for you. I looked at the charts going back over the past couple years, and I have some very reasonable projections about when we could expect the current dip to end and when we would get back to new all-time highs. So by the end of this video, I hope you're going to have a good sense for why the current dip is an incredible opportunity for you, especially as we're about to enter 2025 and the next parabolic phase of this bull run. If that sounds good to you, please hit the like button and let's get into it. So let's start by zooming out and looking at the last 8 years of Bitcoin. And on this chart, each of the green and red candles represents 1 month of price action. So a green candle is a 1 month increase in price and a red candle is a decrease in price. Now the thing to note is that Bitcoin operates in 4-year cycles, with each cycle peak in price occurring every 4 years. So we saw that in 2017, a cycle peak. 4 years later in 2021, another cycle peak in price, and then 4 years later in 2025, which is next year, we expect to see the next cycle peak in price. Now, after a cycle peak, we tend to see approximately 1 year of a bearish downturn in price, followed by 3 years of bullish uptrend. And one thing you'll note is that during these bullish uptrends, it's very common to see red monthly candles. And you'll see sometimes not just one red monthly candle, but 2 red monthly candles, and even as much as 3. Now these red candles represent a dip in price. And these are a healthy, normal part of every bull cycle because they allow traders to take profits, they flush out weak hands, and they allow new traders and new long-term holders to buy the dip, to come in and establish new long-term positions before the next leg up in the bull cycle. Next, let's zoom in on the most recent 2 years of our current 3-year bull cycle. So we're talking 2023 and 2024, and we see that over the past 2 years, we have had a total of 8 large dips ranging in duration from 8 days to as much as 63 days, or an average of 32 days, and a dip size ranging from 19% up to 30%. The average dip has been 23%. So we've had 8 large dips, 32 days average duration, 23% average dip. So compared to the current dip, we already said that we're 11 days into the dip off of the all-time high of $108,000 on December 17th. So that means we're about 1/3 of the way towards the average duration of a dip the past couple years. So far, we've dipped only as far as $92,000, which is a 15% dip, but we actually could go a little further if we met the average dip size of 23%. So what does that look like for the current dip? Let's go ahead and apply the averages to the current dip. So we started on December 17th at $108,000. And if we dip 23% and then we take 32 days, that will bring us to approximately $83,300 total dip. And then a duration of 32 days will bring us to Friday, January 17th. So that's the average. If we apply it to the current dip, we would keep dipping up until Friday, January 17th, before starting the recovery phase, and we would go down as far as 83,300. Now, what is significant about that January 17th date? Well, if you look at a calendar, we can see that January 17th is the Friday right before the inauguration day of January 20th. And we are expecting to usher in a new crypto-friendly administration. This administration has said that they are supporting a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And hey, who knows if they're actually going to issue an executive order on day one or in the first 100 days, or try to push through Senator Lummis's bill. Who knows what's going to happen? The hype, the euphoria could kick in. It could even happen before that. So we don't know what's going to happen on the 20th, a little bit before, or a little bit after. But it is interesting that based on average dip durations, it is dropping us right around the inauguration day, plus or minus a few days. So you can interpret that how you want to, but I would say it's wise to start front running a lot of this action that's going to happen in 2025. We've already seen that over the past 2 years, 8 dips have all recovered back to their new all-time highs, and we fully expect that the current dip is going to do that as well. Now, how long will it be before it recovers back to the new all-time highs? The average duration of recovery has been 93 days, meaning that after it reached the bottom of the dip, it took 93 days before it recovered back to the prior swing high. So in this case, if we bottom on January 17th and took 93 days to recover, that will put us at April 19th, 2025, to where we would recover back to the $108,000 all-time high and start setting new all-time highs. And that's consistent with our bull thesis, which we are fully expecting that 2025 is going to be the final year of the 3-year bull cycle. So we expect that will go into Q2, Q3, and even Q4 of next year. We really don't know. This is all just pure speculation based on past performance. Well, I hope your big takeaway is that there's no need to panic with this current dip, but take this incredible opportunity to stack some cheap sats, acquire some Bitcoin for the first time, or add to your position now while it's still cheap. And if you need a review why it's not too late to Bitcoin, even at $100,000, check out my video, Why You're Not Too Late to Bitcoin at $100,000. If you need to review why Bitcoin is the ultimate store of value and protection for your hard-earned savings, check out my video series, Why You Can't Afford to Ignore Bitcoin. So thanks for watching. Happy New Year, and until next time, be wise, be safe, and stack sats.